page 101. So far, I'm having a great time. I did get to it like last night, and then I had to make myself put it down so I could go to sleep because I was falling asleep. But this book is so good. I love it so much. It's so cozy. This book is so much fun. I'm only 101 and there's at least one character. There's one character that I'm like comfortably shipping Viv with. And there's another character that I'm like, I have a feeling that they're doing a similar thing, but it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But I'm hoping that they're best friends. I hope what that one is leading is best friends. I don't know how to talk about a lot of what I love without risking the spoilers and without risking ruining it. I am only 100-ish pages in. I'm about to start chapter 13. It's such a cozy little book and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't read Legends and Lattes yet. I don't even own a copy of Legends and Lattes yet, but my parents got me this for my birthday and I'm very excited. I did put off reading it for a while. For a while, I mean like 2 or 3 months, because I was a little bit worried that you had to read Legends and Lattes and then read Bookshops and Bonedust. Although I do know that Bookshops and Bonedust is a prequel. Although it says that Legends and Lattes is a standalone. But at this point, when you release a prequel to it, it stops being a standalone. You've created a series there, dude. You've made a series. But when I was looking at... I was kind of looking at the book to see if there was any indication on the book, because normally there is an indication on the book. And right on the front cover of the dust jacket in the orange, it says that set 20 years before the events of Legends and Lattes, Bookshops and Bonedust is a standalone cozy fantasy about the power of good bookshops, great friends and the unexpected choices along the way. And with that in mind, I was like, wait, so I can start this book. I can start reading it because I was so excited. And I'm still so excited for it because it is so good. I also haven't really seen anything online for it. Everything I've seen online regarding this kind of like little universe has been for Legends and Lattes, and then I haven't really seen anything for Bookshops and Bonedust. So I'm kind of going into it relatively blind, but also with the knowledge that everyone liked Legends and Lattes. And then I'm looking at getting Legends and Lattes in hardback as well, because this one's in hardback, and I want to get it with this same cover. I know I can get the same cover in paperback, but it's the issue of I don't want to have one of them in hardback and the other one in paperback, because then it puts the whole thing off. Although I was looking at it last night, and the only hardback you can get is the deluxe edition, and pre-order the deluxe edition. I don't have that kind of money to be spending on a book. And I'm not gonna lie, not a massive fan of the deluxe edition. Not a massive fan. I do like the sprayed edges on it though. It's okay. I'm having a great time with Bookshops. I really love the kind of friendship she has with Fern, and I love the blossoming kind of friendship, relationship type thing with Maylee. I love Brand. I love her little thing with Brand that's developing. You don't get to see much of the thing with Brand, but like the bits that we do get to see with Brand are really sweet and I love them so much. And it's just the little relationship she has with Brand is so much fun. And there's like this little... Is it a dwarf? No, it's not a dwarf. Is it a gnome? Oh yeah, I think it's a gnome. What is her name? Galina. I'll put the spelling up on the screen. But her name's like Galina. And I hate her. I hate her so much. I do think that's like half the point of her though, is to dislike her. But she's so irritating. I love Viv. I love Fern and Maylee and Brand. What's the guard's name? Is it Irida? It's like one of those names where like in the book you have an idea and then when you have to say it out loud, I actually don't think I know how to say it. But Irida, we don't see much of her either, and she annoys me. She just seems to have a thing against Viv. I think the impression I get with Irida is that she just wants to come across as quite tough, and maybe she isn't actually that tough, or she's just a dick. I do think Irida is probably going to come around and not be so much of a pain in the ass. Although Galena is just irritating. I just don't like her. I can't see any redeeming things about Galena other than the fact that, other than the end of chapter 13. And it's like she helped Viv and then she went back to being a dick. And I'm like, although there does seem to be a little friendship forming with them. Yeah, I'm going to see how much further I can get into this, and I will update you later. Okay, so I went ahead and added these little gems that I found onto the painting I did of my dog, the dog in question. I want to say hello to Arlo. Hello, Arlo. So because he's got this studded collar. Hey, good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Because he's got these little studs on his collar, and it's got like a little buckle. If I can... It's got a little buckle on it. He's a good boy. So I put this like big one. Hi! Hello, he's a good boy. I put this like big one in the middle for his little buckle thing, and then I put these little ones to the side. I was going to try and make them all silver because the studs on his collar are silver, but I ended up just putting a couple of different coloured ones, and I quite like it. It's got this big one in the middle, and then I put these little like flower ones in little clusters around, and I quite like it. I was going to think of putting another one down here just to even it out, but I'm a little bit worried of making it look too crowded. And then I found these little green ones that I kind of dotted around. Kind of add a little bit of zhuzh to the grass. I'm scared of making it look like too much is going on. I don't really want to make it too busy. I was thinking of just adding like a little bit more down here, just to even it out a little bit. I also added a bit more purple. I did a bit of purple to the tail and a bit more purple to these back legs, and I kind of darkened these two bits a little bit. Just added some more flowers down here and a couple more of these, and I think it looks so much nicer now. It's really evened up now. I might add some more on here, but I'm also thinking of just leaving it because I'm worried that adding more will ruin it, and I really don't want to ruin it because I really like the way it's at now. I literally just, the moment I finished the last clip, I added those, I put my phone down and added those in, and it looks really cute now. I'm aware that this is not what like dogs are not that colour. I know, that's the whole point of the painting, is that it is not normal dog colour. And I was going to put like actual dog colours on top of it. You good? Yeah. I was going to put actual dog colours on top. Going to put brown and stuff on. I was putting the purple on as like an undercoat for like the darker colours, just to really make it pop and stand out. It was like I'd done this and I was like, I actually really like the colour combination, so I left it. And then I realised I hadn't done a tail, so I did the tail in black, and I figured that it will look acceptable because it's kind of in shadow, and then I added a little purple just to really emphasise it and make it look a little bit more cohesive. I'm really happy with that. I really like the way it is now. I'm really pleased with the way it happened. Really pleased with the way it turned out. And yes, that is a little thing from the 2012 Olympics. I actually don't remember how old I was in 2012. I was born in 2005, someone do the math. I wasn't sure to do with the collar, and then I added those, and I think it looks really cool. Especially alongside the little like ombre thing. Doesn't look so neat like far up, but from like a distance there's a really nice effect. But yeah. I don't know what happened with this eye, but whatever happened with it, I actually really like it. I also like the cleanness of this one. It's what it looks like now. And I really quite like the whole the afternoon. In the evening, and this is literally the first time I'm filming today, and I have just had an idea. I have this canvas left, right? It's the only one I have left, and my mum kind of doodled all over it, and I kind of haven't really wanted to use it because it's got doodles on it. But I have just had an idea, and now I kind of want to use it. But it's the only canvas I have left, so I might have to sacrifice the doodles. It's quite messy. I have just had an idea. Quite happy now. It will soak through to the back. It kind of already has, but I was thinking of painting it. It is also massive. It is also the biggest canvas I have. However, now that it has occurred to me, stuff will soak through, so it's not like I'm completely losing it, and it kind of has been committed to video. I'm going to use it because I want to. I want to use it for something consistent, as cute and as wonderful as this is. I'm very excited to use it. So I've decided to keep this little guy. Also, it has been a couple of hours since the last clip. I painted the base. I know you can't see it very well in this light. I painted a light blue and then I ran out towards up here, so I used this like darker blue. Ran out of that, I had to use an even darker blue. So that's the base, is like 3 different shades of blue. Then I needed to feed this one and take him out for a lead required activity. We just got back a couple of minutes ago. I acquired some more blue paint. I found some more blue paint. I am now adding that on to the layers, and I took him out. Actually, it was probably like 30 minutes. In my head, it's like was so much shorter because we got back so much earlier. It looks like it's going to start raining again. I really don't want to go back out in that. I also just put on a swoop thing, paused it to do this. My phone also needs to charge. That's why I don't have any clips of the dog walk, is my phone was on charge and I got back and it was only like 39%, so I need to put it back on charge. So I'm going to put my phone on charge, finish painting the blue for this, watch the swoop thing, maybe play with my dog in the process. I also really need to tidy my room, but somebody, Cobber's right there, gets annoyed every time I try. He'll like get in the way, start playing, and I can't say no to him. I'm a sucker for my dog. I'm gonna do this and various other things, and I will catch up to you later. I'll get back to you later. So it is currently 11:20 at night. As you can see, it's dark outside. I've had to turn the lights on. I want to get lamps because I'm not a massive fan of using big lights. Although these ones are nice and warm, I still don't like. Basically, I just want lamps. Anyway, that's what I've got done. And I did the very cliche autistic thing of just, I did the very autistic thing, and I specify autism because I am autistic. But I did the neurodivergent thing of just hyperfixating on it. So that's where we're at now with it. I did blow dry the blue to kind of like speed it up a little bit so I could get started on the submarine. But because it is like 11:20, I'm tired, my dog is tired. I didn't realise I was tired because I was so hyper-focused on that. I'm going to get changed. Sorry, I just lost track of time. I looked down and it was like 8:10, and I look up and it's 11:20. So, I don't know why I'm walking around so much. Is it just after 5 p.m? Yes, it is just after 5 p.m. Leave me alone, I've had a day. And I am wearing the same clothes as yesterday. What are you going to do about it? I have finished kind of finished the painting. I didn't really touch it much today other than just now. And I've kind of finished it. I want to add like a couple more various detailings in it. So it's not completely finished, but the submarine is relatively finished. I know it's missing the little dots around, and it's not completely perfect. What are you gonna do? Be mean to me? It's a bit lame. But I added, these meant to be like bubble stuff, hence the white, and then I kind of just added more colour to it, and then I was like, hang on a minute. Like, the Beatles were very much on drugs when they wrote this song. It's hardly going to be more accurate, so I just kind of played around with a bit of colour and stuff, and I think it looks quite cool. And there's like little fishies and bits at the bottom, and I did keep this little guy in, and I really like it, and I think it really adds to the whole thing. But I know there's like the little windows are missing. I kind of used black paint for the outline though, and I think it's really cool. It's so cool. I need to finish particularly these fish. These ones I just want to add eyes onto, and then I'm just going to leave them like that. And there is a lot of empty space up there, but the bubbles at the back of the submarine are doing enough that I don't need to add anything up there actually. This bit I messed up a little bit, but I still quite like the way it turned out. I don't actually have to add anything up there. I might add little gem things on here instead of painting the little submarine windows. That could be fun, adding little windows to the thing. Oh, actually, that's a good idea, actually. Hang on, I'm gonna probably do that. Like, I have some of these I can stick on for the windows. I don't know if it'll have the same effect, but I'm hoping it'll have enough of a necessary effect. So I just added them. I probably should have done them submarine bigger and the red bit smaller. Anyway, I was going to paint like a little red thing and then decided not to because I think it looks really nice like that anyway. I might add little gems here as well to kind of really add to like the yellow submarine Beatles-esque thing. I'm going to add little googly eyes to the fish because that's fun. And there's no one to tell me no. So I added the googly eyes and oh my god, I love it. Look at them! I quite like the one big one and then the little one, look, but that is really fun. I think that's so cool. I might add the googly eyes onto these ones before I finish painting underneath, because what I did with these ones is a lot of them it looks like they're not actually on, they're on the kind of top. Okay, I added all the little gems and stuff here. As you can see, I did add a couple of flowers because it's the Beatles and Yellow Submarine, and if you know, you know. There actually aren't like gems in the movie or anything, but it's just to add to the whole drug-induced Beatles-ness of it. I think it's just to add it and emphasise the crazy kookiness of it. I think I might add a couple to these, but these little things I painted on, but at the same time I really like the way they are. This is a couple of things I might add to it, and obviously I need to finish these fish up here, but I'll probably do that like tomorrow or this evening. I'm gonna go for two that were like either really close in size or the same size instead of down here, just because I really like the kind of two-eye look, but at the same time I'm like, I like two different sizes. I think it looks so kooky and fun and just goofy. However, I did figure something different up there so it wasn't too samey. I might add more fish up there, but at the same time I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to add too much, but there'd be way too much yellow because obviously the submarine is yellow. It's a yellow submarine, so I think this is a nice balance. I don't want to do too much more to it. I don't think I'll do anything much more to it for now. I think I'm just gonna squiggle my little like signature thing in the corner somewhere and then just leave it. This is my painting companion. He was the bestest little guy. Oh, he was the best. Oh, thank you. He was the bestest little assistant. He was the greatest assistant. He was really helpful. He was a very helpful little assistant. Oh, nearly fell over. Yeah, he was a very helpful little assistant whilst I painted this. Now I still have these were kind of the paint tubes. Like these paint tubes were kind of the ones I was using the most. And this one. I think I used this one like once. Yes, any of these like darker blues that look like they're still wet was this blue. I didn't realise at the time that it was a slightly darker shade. I don't know why, because when I picked them up I realised there were two different shades, but I used this one predominantly for like the second coat. Boy oh boy, I didn't realise how much blue paint I'd end up using. Like, I knew I'd use a lot, but I didn't realise how much. So I ran out of, this is like the only blue tube that I have left. And I had like, and it was full when, like, well, not full, but it was mostly full when I started. And I had like these two others here. Granted, oh, focus. Granted, this light one here was nearly done anyway. Like, it would, but it did a hefty chunk. Like, I think I probably like show a little clip in the corner from the first, but it went all the way. It covered like a hefty chunk. I'm really happy, but it was kind of running low anyway because I really liked this blue. And then this one was actually running a little bit low as well, so it didn't cover as much, but it did cover a nice bit here. But yes, no, they were kind of mostly used when I got them anyway. But I'm now significantly lower on the paints that came in that I got from my mum. But with basically all these paints here, the W. H. Smith ones, I got that one for my birthday and it came in a set. The rest of them are here. And I ended up touching, where is the other yellow? There. I think one of my siblings had a go at it before I managed to get a hold of it, but yeah. I did kind of use the yellow and white from the one I got for my birthday. This white, however, it's dry. I don't know how. It was dry when it got given to me. I think this orange actually dried up. I think it was not dried up when I got it, but yes, no, a couple of the ones were full in their tubes and like dry, but yeah, no, I am now low on paint. But I'm just gonna tidy all. I don't know if I should like leave the paint in there because I think it's a nice look, but at the same time I kind of want to put these ones back in there and just put those ones back on here. Yes, I do kind of I've started using this as like a painting palette because obvious reasons. I think and up here too, I started using this for mixing a bit of red and white, and then it kind of just spread, and I think it looks quite cool. That with the added like blues and bits like from the bottom at it. Same things happened up here. I think I talked about this in a previous clip. But yeah, no, I started using this as like a mixing bit. Kind of started with this and then these, and then kind of just progressed really. But I've only started doing it recently within the last few days, but it's really quite helpful for like mixing the stuff. That white blob was from last night. I hadn't realised that I'd left it, but I think it adds like a fun little bit of texture. But no, I think makes it look really like artsy and fun, and just I think it really adds to the artiness of it. So I think I'm just gonna leave this kind of as it is for now. I was thinking of maybe adding as I was saying that, I was thinking of adding little bits of just like these kind of like little gems and flowers and stuff to the bottom, but I think that will be doing too much really. I do quite like the way it is now, but I don't really want to do too much because I think the simplicity of the way it is now is perfect, and if you do too much it'll... But yeah, I might add a couple of more diamonds up here, but I think the fact that there's 4 diamonds there along with 4 fish and then 2 diamonds with 2 fish really works. I might add a couple of more layers to really pigment them because they're quite lackluster when they're not as pigmented and nice. So I might add a couple more layers of paint later, but other than that, I really like the way it turned out. Yeah, I really like it. I might add little faces to these gems to add more significant, I do quite like the gems, but I kind of want to somehow signify the beetles being in there, and adding little faces to the gems. Actually, that might ruin it. No, I'm going to stick with what I said before, and I'm just going to leave it like this because I do really like it. And I think the addition of these little googly eyes and the like gems and stuff is the perfect, like really improved it. And they don't draw away from the rest of the painting. I feel like they just add to it. So anyway, this was my last canvas anyway. I'm gonna scribble my little initials and shit in there. Probably gonna stick Charlotte in there somewhere. Anyway, gonna add my little signature. Yep, see my painting companion. Yeah, he's telling me this one. Good boy, good boy. Oh, see, he's the perfect assistant. The perfect assistant. Yeah, I'm just gonna scribble my name down there and then play with him. Play with this little goon. This little goofy. But yeah, so I'll play with this goofy. See, look at him. The was perfect. Just good boy, good buddy. Yeah, I scribble my name and then give him affection because he deserves it. Good boy. Okay, I'm filming it at this angle because I don't want you to see my house. I don't want you to be able to detect where I live. It's raining a lot harder than I thought it was. Like, my phone screen is all wet. And I was thinking of changing my jumper because I really like the jumper, and then I figured just leave it on. But, like, it's gonna get wet. This is not the most flattering angle, I do have to say, but the dog is in his little coat. That's what that's called. He's in his little coat. It makes it. It is so big because his harness is on underneath. Good boy-y. He's got his harness on underneath, hence the little zipper in the middle. So it like makes him look so chunky. But his harness is actually one that is kind of meant for a bigger dog, and by a bigger dog I mean a substantially bigger dog. Not overweight, but it's made for Malamute kind of size, and he's very obviously not a Malamute. He is like 5 or 6, maybe 10 times smaller than a Malamute. So he is significantly smaller than the kind of breed that is bought for. But I tightened it significantly, and it's still he trips on the straps a little bit, so they're all tucked up in, and then. But yeah, no, that's why he looks so massive. He looks huge, poor little guy. It has lightened up since we got up out of the drive. But yep, it's very, very rainy. I hate walking in the rain because you can come back soaked, and it's just, oh my god, my phone is so wet that it's dripping. Anyway, I'm going to take him out and I will come back later. I'm so wet. I think my phone camera is still like blurry from the rain. Also, he is running around like an absolute maniac trying to dry himself on literally every surface in my room. I am drenched. You can't really tell on the coat, but it's soaking. My coat is soaked. My jumper is soaked in any area that wasn't tucked in to the coat. My trousers are soaked. Thank God I changed my shoes are drenched through. My socks absolutely drenched. Good boy. He's soaking. I'm soaking. We're all soaking. Yes, I'll so laugh. Do not shame me. I love Olaf. There's Doctor Who posted there, but I don't know if there you I'm absolutely soaked. I don't like walking in the rain. It's horrible. Look at that. Okay, so we're back now and it's 9:48. Okay, so normally this is the time I would normally leave to take him for a WALK, right? Now is normally the time I normally take him at 9:48 p.m. And only now is the rain lightening up. That was a big shake. I knew it. I knew the rain would probably lighten up by the time I'd normally take him for a walk. But I said the word. I said walk too many times in front of him. So I had to take him. But now he's throwing himself off and he seemed happy enough. But now it's just thrown my entire evening routine into whack now. I'll probably just get a lot more reading done and playing with him, to be fair, but so yeah, back from the walk. I'm soaked. I'm soaked. I ended up putting the hood up. I never put heads up. Sorry, I had a character. I put my hood up. Because I didn't want my hair dripping into my eyes. It was raining that much. My hair's also kind of soaked-ish. But yeah. And he's still shaking. We've been back for like 5 minutes. And he's still shaking. Okay. His coat is soaking. Basically, what I've said soaking so many times. Basically, I'm drenched. My dog's coat is drenched. I had to hang up his harness as well because I think it's a little bit wet. So wet. I don't like walking in the rain. I don't like it. Okay. I'm back in the joggers. I had to take my socks off too, they were soaking. But anyway, like, look at this. Okay, look at this. It is no longer absolutely drenching. Look at this. It is now kind of sunny, and I'm just not raining this hard anymore. Actually, it is still raining quite heavy. Just not in the direction to my window. That does actually make me feel a little bit better, but it's raining a lot lighter now, and I feel a bit like a moron, not gonna lie. Because I knew if I just waited to the time that I normally took my dog out for a WALK, the magic word. Look at this. Although it does seem to be raining quite hard. But just although it does seem to be raining kinda hard as well. I don't know, I'm just frustrated because I knew if I just waited to the time I normally took him out. But it's okay, because I'm not about hello. Yeah, he's trying to make me feel better, but his paws are so like bony. Oh, but yeah, no, it's not his fault. I'm glad I got him out though. I'm glad I got him out because there was also the risk that it would get heavier. Oh, that's my name. I'm always slightly surprised when I see my name on this cushion, even though I got it for Christmas. Okay, so I'm on page 232. I just got, well, I say I just got to this. That would be a little bit unfair, right? I say a few minutes. Probably like 30-40 minutes ago, but I had to feed various animals. And by various animals, I do mean my dog and the 4 cats. And then get like various other things. It's been a while, but it was like chapter 31, page 232, and I was like, that's the perfect place to stop for a while to attend to a few things. You can ignore the fact that it's wet. Anyway, page 232. I really like it. I'm having a great time. I love Satchel. He is such a cute little character. There are moments where he's a little suspicious. I'm like, okay, you're acting a little bit sus. But you know what? He's so cute. I love him so much. He's just like a skeleton. I'm like, I love him. He's so sweet and just wants to be helpful. It's so sweet. It's been a long day. I love Satchel, right? I love him. He's so cute. I do love the little cast of characters, and how intimately we kind of get to know them. I'm having a great time. I do think something's going to happen in the last 100 pages. Something has to. There was an allusion to it at the end of chapter 30. I do love the constant, kind of talk of reading and stuff. Constant talk of reading. It's been a couple of days since I finished Bookshops and Bonedust. I haven't put the dust jacket back on it yet. I think I rated it like 5 stars or like 4.75. I am obsessed with this book. It was so cute. It was so sweet. I had a great time. It was so cute. I loved the characters though. The characters were so sweet. I adore the characters. The main character, Viv, we went through such a fun little character development, character arc type thing. She went from being quite grumpy and just fed up with everything at the start. It wasn't really long until she found her footing in Merc and ended up finding herself these friends. She ended up forming her own little friendship group in the town of Merc, and the fact that she is planning to go back to Rackham's Ravens, when they come back through the town of Merc is constantly presents the kind of wrong idea. It's brought up occasionally. I'm actually going to put the dust jacket back on this. Hang on. Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, the fact that when Rackham's Ravens come back through town, Viv is very much planning to go back to them. It's brought up periodically throughout the book, and I feel like the timing between each mention of it and the kind of talk of Viv's anxiety surrounding it, the timing between each time it was brought up was really nice because it wasn't constant. It wasn't constantly being brought up, but at the same time you weren't left with ages between each time it was brought up. It was brought up quite a comfortable amount of time. It's always and she still has those anxieties. And it was the further that her friendship with Fern and Galena progressed, the more her little thing with Maylie progressed, the more her friendship with Brand progressed. The anxiety of leaving seemed to increase. But it was also reiterated that she still wanted to join Rackham's Ravens again when they came through. She wasn't finished being a mercenary, and I think that was quite nice of the... And like, she gets one bad injury that lands her in this cute little town, and instead of kind of just being grumpy about it and kind of making everybody else's lives miserable, she decides to make the best of it and form these friendships and help Fern out with the bookshop, and just be nice to Gilina, despite the fact that Gilina has been nothing but a dick for no reason. Gilina just decided to be a dick, and Viv kind of kept being nice to her when she really didn't have to. She could have just called Gilina out and be like, stop being a little bitch, stop being a dick. But no, she was really nice to Gilina the whole time, and I really like how their relationship progressed to the point where they were actually friends. I love how their relationship progressed from being these kind of like rivals to like companionably comfortable together. They were companionable, they were friends by the end of it, and it was really quite nice. They end up going on like this little quest together near the end, so that it wasn't just then kind of dropped on us at the very end of like, oh, and she went back to killing shit. It wasn't the first time that Viv brought out her swords or anything, and it wasn't the first time that Viv used her swords and used her power, but I feel like the flow of the book was so nice. Everything felt so natural because it was kind of, and I felt like it was very much a signal and a signifying factor of even Gilina's character progression and the progression of the relationship between Gilina and Viv. I felt like it was very much a signifying factor of the fact that their relationship had progressed and they were now friends and they were companionable with each other and they could get along. And that was really nice. That was really nice. I found that was really, really nice. It was quite lovely to see that. Every time the mention of Viv having, like, leaving Maylie, I was like, no. It was like, even on my annotations, I'm like, please don't do this to me. I can't do, no, please don't do this to me. Because I was rooting for them so much. And you could see the pain that it was causing both of them, despite the fact that they both knew what was going to happen. They don't fully talk about it necessarily, but you can kind of see the allusions. Well, they'll sit down and they have a talk, and they make allusions to the fact that Viv isn't going to be there forever, and that Maylie is done with her mercenary life. She still has her weapon from when she was a mercenary, but she's done with that. Like, it's in the attic. She's very much happy running the bakery. She's done with that. Like, she wants to stay at Merc running Seasong Bakery. Like, she wants to keep running Seasong Bakery. Like, they're very respectful of each other and each other's wishes, which was really nice. You can tell that they grow such a deep fondness for each other and they really truly care for each other. They know inevitably that Viv will probably end up leaving. The character progression, I feel like pretty much every character has like some sort of progression. Maylie doesn't, but Maylie was perfect to begin with. So all Maylie gains is a bit of angst and a little bit of hurt. She ends up getting a bit of pain, but like so do all of them. When she initially arrived at Merc, she was quite grumpy and she was just like fed up with everything. Understandably so, because she was really badly wounded. She was having to take a break when she really didn't want to. She needed to take the time off though. She needed to heal. But she wanted to keep going, she wanted to keep going with Rackham's Ravens, but Rackham was like, nah, you gotta, there's a little seaside town nearby, we'll drop you off. Instead, she, on the first day there that she is consistently conscious, she decides to go and explore. She decides to go take a look around, get to know her bearings, because it's like, well, if she has to take this time off, she might as well enjoy it. Like, she might as well make the most of it. Where she very much could have just moped about. Instead, she decides to go explore. relax, because after a couple of faulty starts of letting it heal but also just keeping up with her antics, she's like, okay, maybe I should let this heal. I need to just let this heal. But it's like by the time she comes to that conclusion, she's been there for a few weeks, she's made the friends, and she's like, yeah, okay, I can let it relax. Like, I've got Fern, I've got Maylee, like, there's pot roast, like, even Pitt comes in occasionally, and, like, Brand. Like, there are people looking out for her. There are people that she's looking out for her. She knows that there are people looking out for her in this town, and they are the same people that she's looking out for. She has made friends, so she's like, yeah, I'll let my leg heal, and hopefully Rackham's Ravens will come by through soon, and I'll be able to just like hop up and join them. And after a couple of faulty starts, she does take a break from her training, but she tries too hard at the start, and then she's like, okay, takes a step back, and then she like kind of, as her leg is healing, keeps up with the training to make sure that she never fully loses it. She lets herself train a bit harder the more her leg heals, and she tests her leg out to make sure that her leg can take it, because I don't think at any point she tries to do too much for her leg, apart from like there are a couple of times, but I don't want to spoil them. There are a couple of times where she does put a little bit too much, but it's not on purpose. Like, she gets adrenaline for protecting her friends, and then she's like, oh shit. But no, it's, yeah, no, there is a point in which she's like, okay, I'm gonna relax. But no, I really liked it. It was so sweet. But yeah, watching Viv's character progression was really nice. Watching Fern going from this sad character, like watching Fern go from someone who's given up to having hope again is really nice, and it's such a sweet little thing. And at no point did I feel like it was rushed, because she puts a lot of resistance into making the shop better, and she puts a lot of resistance into making the bookshop better, because she doesn't want to change it. Her dad opened it, and now it's down to her to run. She does put a little bit of resistance into it, understandably so, but then after a certain point, she kind of lets herself kind of do it. After Viv kind of convinces her a little bit, she's like, okay, well, we'll see. We will see. And then, actually, I really like it. And Viv is like, told you. Told you. And as they repaint the bookshop and redecorate it, they get more and more customers, and Viv is like, hey, you should do event things. You should do all these like fun, goofy things to get more customer revenue. And Fern is like, I don't know. And then they kind of do it, and Viv's like, so? And Fern is like, you were right. Fern puts the appropriate amount of resistance into things. At no point was she putting too much resistance in, or too little. I felt like she put the perfect amount of resistance in to her bookshop changing, because you could kind of tell that she did want to make her bookshop better. She did want to have the customer revenue, but she didn't want to spend too much money, because Fern's fears were very, very valid. They were so valid, despite the fact that like time and time again Viv was like, see, you had nothing to worry about. I think the initial kind of like, well, what if we are just putting money into something that won't get the money back? Like, Fern already has very little funds to begin with, and Viv is like, hey, let's redecorate the shop. And Fern is like, I don't want to. I don't want to risk it. Like, I feel like Fern's I don't want to risk it attitude whenever it comes to redecorating the shop is so understandable. It's so understandable. But Viv very much proves to her that it's like, see, we repainted the outside, we repainted the inside, we redecorated a little bit, and we threw a couple of events. And now you've got more customer revenue. see. Like, Viv explains to Fern that, like, hey, say if, like, Maylee's bakery was dirty, nobody would want to go in there. And Fern is like, that's different, that's a bakery, she makes food. And Viv is like, not really. Not really. Viv very much turns around, she's like, well, same happens for a bookshop. If someone comes in here and is like, oh, I don't want to, like, oh, this bookshop is dirty, they're not going to want to buy a book. And Fern is like, okay. So they go and, like, buy all this new stuff, redecorate the bookshop, have another couple of events, and then Fern is, like, on top of the moon. She still has a little bit of anxiety here and there about the bookshop, but Viv is like, no, just, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You've redecorated. It'll be okay. And Viv even makes sure that Fern's anxieties are very much validated, whilst also pushing Fern to do the things. She's like, yeah, but at least the bookshop will look nice. And it's really nice. And it's like, as you get towards the end, it's like each of the characters is like, you can tell that each of the characters has a lot of anxiety about Viv leaving, because Viv has come in and just kind of made all of their lives better, and in turn all of them have made Viv's life better, and like Viv even acknowledges it, and you can tell that all of them are very anxious about Viv leaving. They've known from the start that Viv will leave, but that doesn't stop them feeling very anxious and sad and maybe a little bit angsty about Viv leaving, and understandably so, because Viv has kind of just come in, made this little friendship group, kind of almost found family type thing. They've all gotten really, really bloody close, and then it's like, oh, but Viv is probably gonna leave soon. Let's face it, Viv might leave soon to go back to doing her little mercenary thing, and then the bookshop, like, Fern isn't gonna have, like, Viv in the bookshop anymore. Like, Fern has pot roast, but she won't have that constant kind of, like, someone that she can actually have a two-sided conversation with. She doesn't have, like, obviously she has pot roast, and she loves pot roast, but she doesn't have that person that's just kind of always going to be in the bookshop anymore. And then with Maylee has known from the start that Viv is probably going to leave. Like, it's been made very clear. Very clear. But even as it draws closer to the end, it's clearer that Maylee has caught, like, real feelings, and Viv has caught real feelings for Maylee, and it's, the more it goes on, the harder it's going to be for them. And you can kind of tell with both of them that they have very valid insecurities and anxieties about it. And it's very upsetting. It's very sad, because they've grown so close. And it's so sad. And then with Galina, I think Galina was kind of just using Viv at the start, but they've kind of made, like, an actual friendship through it, though. I think Galina just wants to join Rackham's Ravens, so I don't think she really cares, but she's probably indifferent, I really can't tell, but, and then you can tell with, like, yeah, and I love the kind of, like, progression of Viv's kind of relationship with Pot Roast, where they kind of, like, towards the end, but it's like, the group is so nice. And with Brand, it's like, she doesn't have as, like, deep of, like, a friendship with Brand. Well, I say that, you don't see as much of her friendship with Brand, but Brand is kind of in their little friendship group a little bit. I kind of got the impression that he really enjoyed Viv being around, so for Viv to then not be around anymore would be really upsetting. Basically, Viv just came in, made a massive impact, and then, like, fucked off again. It's It's really sad. I hate it. Anyway, I think my phone is about to die, so I should go put that on charge, and if I come up with anything more to say, I'll put back on. So I realised I never spoke about the ending, right? So yesterday I did the whole thing. It's the day after the last clip, right? I realised I never spoke about the ending. It was so good. It was so good, but it broke me, but in the best way possible, because I love those characters. The ending is not a surprise, and I don't think it ever was meant to be. The epilogue, though, if you know, you know that. No, I think the chapter before the epilogue kind of knew it was going to happen. The ending of Bookshops and Bonedust destroyed me in the best way possible. I love that book. I wish I could reread it. Oh, I mean, I can reread it, what do I mean? But no, I want to read it for the first time. That book is so good. So good. Again, I did finish it on Sunday. Was it Sunday? And it's now Wednesday. So it has been a few days since I finished the book. But I realised I never spoke about the ending, and the ending destroyed me. And I think the ending was set up really nicely, though. I don't think it was ever. I don't personally think it was rushed. And I'm saying that as if I've heard people say it was rushed. Nah. I haven't really heard anyone talk about Bookshops and Bonedust, though. But no, it was really nice, and it was really nicely paced, and I'm obsessed with the book. I love it so much, and I love the characters, and I would say I'm looking forward to reading Legends and Lattes. I mean, I suppose I am looking forward to reading Legends and Lattes now. It is so freaking good. I don't know what else to say other than it was 5 stars. It was 5 stars. Easily 5 stars. Anyway, it was really freaking good. It was such a good book. And I know this is a reading vlog. I hate doing this because I keep starting reading vlogs and then only reading one book. Okay. Yes, at the risk of making this video far too long, I think I shall end it here, despite the fact I only read one book. But I did a lot of painting, so at least it's not just... Anyway. How do I do outros? Anyway, thanks for watching. It's going. I hope you had fun. Stop it. I hope you had fun, and I hope you decide to stick around. You know where the subscribe button is?
I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.